So give me a second. I had a special hat for y'all today. The white bucket. And what a scenario conversation to have today. I really wanted to get into a real deep one. We got Black Outrage number 16 going strong right now. It's a series we've been rocking with, and it's really a good series. You know what I'm saying? And today I wanted to talk about, actually this is 17. This is 17. It ain't 16. But I'm going to switch the numbers too. But I was wanted to talk about Tariq Nasheed and the scenario that's going down with him and a lot of the black people in the culture, you know, diaspora, and the fact that he came up with the FBA thing, Foundation of Black Americans, and the other people came up with ADOS, which is American Descendants of Slave, Tony, and I forgot the other lady name, but I remember it. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of little beef going on in the black culture about that. And the real beef is basically like who or what is the deciding factor on who's going to be the leaders of these things. Apparently, Tariq Nasheed actually trademarked the name FBA. And people was looking at that like that was kind of foul, because they was like, how you going to be trademarking the name FBA if we're supposed to be a black person lineage? I mean, what will make you the owner or the leader of it? And he was saying that he trademarked it because he wanted to make sure that there was some gatekeeping going on, that nobody else could trademark it and stop us from using it as our lineage claim. So obviously their lineage is African American, because this is a word that was made up from Jesse Jackson back in the 80s or whatever year frame he had did that, and then they just took it. Right before that, they said that the lineage of black came from what's his name? James Brown. I guess he had a song called I'm Black and I'm Proud. And everybody was using that as the statement of blackness, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I wanted to talk about it because I've been seeing all this stuff happening. Everybody's mad about FBA and the fact that FBA is what it is. So let's get into some of everybody's statements and see what they got to say, and then we'll come back and chat about it.
A whole country enacted, and we got these weirdos want to denounce their heritage. Why would you denounce your heritage just to get internet views, or why would you listen to an influencer on the internet and denounce your heritage to enrich an influencer? The only way that we will get reparation is if we got reparations to fund our own countries, such as Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, because if it happened in the past, it might get happen in the future. Don't let them weirdos trick you, send you to a strong delusion.
So that's that guy's opinion, and there's many more.
He starts off the gist of the video by saying that anyone telling you to vote for the couch is an imposter. They're not pro-black at all.
First, imposters tell blacks not to vote or to vote the couch, to hurt Democrats until we get reparations. That is not a pro-black stance.
And the reason for that is that anything, especially reparations, right? He's pro-reparations, I'm pro-reparations, but he also puts out a caveat. Just, because what happens is many of these imposters, these pro-black imposters, what they try to do is say that, hey, you're a Democrat, chill. That's the first attack they'll use. Or then they try and just make jokes. You'll ask them this and this, and they'll just do, an attacks at you. And they won't, answer the question.
So we're basically going down the rabbit hole of a bunch of people that got something wrong with the fact that FBA even exists. Even the ADOS side, like you got both sides. Some people like it, some people against it. And it's been like a beef in the black community for the last few weeks or months about that. And it's like new names, new claims, what are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to claim this? Are we going to claim that? Tariq Nasheed got his point too. So let's see what this guy got to say.
I've been on Clubhouse long enough, these past, 4 or 5 years, to hear about FBA conversations, Foundational Black Americans, or ADOS, right? There's a intersection of they not like us there too, right? In terms of African descendants of slaves versus black people who came in from other places like Haiti or Jamaica.
That one, I don't know why he clicked. Oh, okay, he don't have much to say.
Like, don't piss in my mouth and then call it lemonade. Because what's the derogatory word for white people that's colonizing your land to this day? And for the Caribbean and Africans that say we don't have any culture, And come on now, we can already debunk that. What's your culture? And don't tell me food. It's to the point where I don't even want to date a Caribbean or an African that has a coon mindset unless you have a rider mindset. And Black Americans built this country, not Africans, don't you forget. Like, don't piss in my mouth and then call it lemonade.
So it's a lot of delineating. It's a lot of changing. Let's see what he got to say.
That Carnell made up the DOS term. That's a good term. I take my hat off to her. The DOS term is a very good term. I actually like that. Descendants of slaves or descendants of slavery. Very good term. Yeah, I like that term. You know, I have my differences with Yvette Carnell, but sometimes people do good things. I like that term. American DOS, descendants of slaves, descendants of slavery. All right? I'm here. That's a very good codified term. I like that. And we need to jump on terms like that.
So as you can see, this must be before he came up with FBA. And FBA came from him, I guess, doing studies and shit like that. He said he read something before and somebody mentioned it in an article. And then prior to that, he said Yvette Carnell, his name is Tony. I forgot the guy his last name, the guy who she rocks with, Yvette Carnell, who came up with American Descendants of Slaves. But they have heard this other older guy who used to do all this political shit. You know his name too. I'm gonna come up with his name in a minute. But he had said it in the speech, and then reading his speech and hearing his speeches, they took that term and then they coined it for today's times. So there's two sections: there's American Descendants of Slaves, and then you got actual African Americans or FBA. So it's like 5-7 different names for the same people in the same country that's dealing with the same thing. So the beef that they got is kind of like, why is there a beef if everybody's the same thing? But then the question is deeper than that. It's like, if we're all different cultures and different delineations or different parts of Africa, then ain't we just Africans? But then it's like, well, we actually were born in America. We don't know shit about Africa, never been there. And if you go there, you got to ask white people. You have to have, money. You have to have a lot of elements to go to Africa. And then before you even get to Africa, they take you to Europe first. So it's like, I want to go to Africa, but I got to go to fucking Europe first? How the fuck that happened? Because of the control and all that shit that they got going on before it actually became something. See, so you look at it from our perspective as a lot of black people in America, and it's like, y'all left us out to hang. You know what I'm saying? You say, Will Adams say, Unc, my girlfriend called me accidentally eating coochie. Now I'm single. Damn. That's crazy in the world, bro. You need to probably put some kind of stuff over your mouth before you go down deep, because it ain't always a pretty thing. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that as black people, man, we got to find a way to try to come to some kind of consensus, because at the end of the day, the people who basically make the most money from our divisions is the other people, the other culture. They make the money from us, even on platforms talking about it. They make money from us because we all still got to go eat food and buy stuff from stores and shit. None of us, whether you from any culture or any element of people, you don't have big ass grocery stores. You don't have big box stores. You don't have shit to feed people. You ain't got gardens. Them motherfucking grow food if it was a fucking problem. It's like, it's bigger elements of our culture that really need to be discussed versus just the name and the quality of the titles and who named the title and who owned the titles, who's the leaders. All these is cool ideas, but there's bigger ideas that's out there. So let's see what this bro got to say. This dude from my era.
I'm connected with my brothers and sisters in Mexico. All right? You're making fun about Mexican brothers getting deported and Mexican brothers getting deported and getting rounded up and deported. Our brothers and sisters just in any part of the world in South America, Venezuela, Argentina, and other places. I'm connected. Those are my people. All right? This whole idea of you taking, sticking your chest out because maybe you might have been, you got off the ship before them. But because they made a couple of pit stops and dropped you off a little bit earlier, you now turn around, or even if you made it to America, you now turn around and mock them people? All right?
Well, see, that's what this It is. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now, because that'd be bogus if I was 15 minutes and you couldn't hear me, because it's actually playing on my YouTube. So that'd be fucked up if you couldn't hear me. But it's giving me, yup, so it was on me. 15 minutes, y'all couldn't hear me? God damn, that's fucked up. But it's actually working on my on my end. So it's like, that's fucked up. I can still hear it right now. Well, now, it looked like I muted myself now. No, so fuck that. Hold up, let's see what it sound at in this bitch. I don't hear shit. So my sound went out on this. Let's see. Let's see. Alright. Alright. So it'd be fucked up if they ain't hear me all that time, but I don't run YouTube, so I'm not no fucking mechanic like that. I don't give a fuck. We keep it going. Yo, at the end of the day, and I see on the playback if this shit actually worked or if it didn't work, but we'll know in the end. But at the end of the day, that's just how it's been going on the black side, man. Motherfuckers been just, kind of pissed off about how it's like a little separation and shit. This Black Outrage number 17. And we kicking it about the FBA ADOS beef, and it's like real crazy because as you see black people having an infight about whose name is what name is this, you can still see other people coming in and blending in, taking over the shit that we got going on. For instance, the Essence Fest. They move right in. They don't give a fuck what you call yourself in America. At the end of the day, they Africans, they came to this bitch, they got their money together, they make a move. So it's like they own it now. And it was something that black people built. So when you go to it now, it's all African. It don't matter about Colorado. It don't matter about no American states. Wherever black people dwell, it does not matter. When you go there, they basically telling you, you African. You ain't this FBA shit. You ain't this ADOS shit. You're not even black or African American. You African. So come to this thing and learn where you're from. But us here in America, we still steady saying, like, well, what part of Africa are we from? Like, what element? You got to do your research. You got to do, I ain't got no fucking money for that stupid ass shit. Tell me where the fuck I'm from. Just like the people who from other countries here. If you're from another country in Africa, where is my people from? Where you in this region, the Western region? And y'all could have been them or you could have been them. There's nothing to really hold on to. There's nothing to really hold on to. Like you see the cultures, like for instance in America, in the city I'm from, Cinco de Mayo. And as I've gotten older, I realized that Cinco de Mayo didn't even happen in America. It happened in Mexico. And they actually be here with flags all over the place screaming Cinco de Mayo. And then you're like, well, damn, okay, well, if it happened in Mexico, the fuck they all so happy for that shit over here in America? Because wherever the fuck they at, they know where they from. So that's why when it's a celebration, it's like, it's a celebration still here right now. Chinese New Year, when it's a Chinese New Year, the people in Chinatown, they still celebrate over there because they feeling like, yo, I'm a Chinese motherfucker. I ain't in China, but that's a part of my lineage and my culture. So where do we have that at? Where's the Christmas for our religion? Where's the holiday, whatever? What even is the prayers? What is the fucking culture? We don't know. The culture that we have here in America and have been trained. And before they let other cultures in here, where they was dominating on television or some kind of network, they had a Hispanic channel, or they might have another channel over here for another culture. We was all dominated by white people messages on TV, and it came straight down the pipeline to your brain, right from the box to your head every single day as a child growing up. That's programming. So now today, adults, young adults, the internet is here. You might get a lot more information. You can get a lot more stuff coming into you. You don't necessarily have to read books like that. You ain't got to sit up in the library. You got to wait for a class person to tell you the information, and then you do a test to return the information. You can just look at your phone and you get the information right down the pipeline. So it's now a little bit more education. You could see your culture, where you're from. You could even connect to any one of the countries that is in Africa. Like, fuck that. I don't know where I'm from. I'm gonna be Cameroon. I don't know where I'm from. I'm gonna be Mali. I don't know where I'm from. I'm gonna be from Uganda. I'm gonna be from Nigeria. You just claim one because you can look at the cultures and say, you know what, I like that shit they doing right there. But we basically is bastard childs. We basically are like left out. We don't know where the fuck we from. We don't know. So people here using their smarts is coming up with names. They coming up with things to hold on to. But it's all American driven. It's all American created. Nobody from the countries in Africa came over here and said, you know what? We got a lot of oil. We got a lot of motherfucking gold. Y'all niggas at least left y'all shit back home. So all y'all in America should at least be having at least $100,000 150,000 apiece. 46 million motherfuckers. It should be at least 150,000 in all y'all pockets. Why? Because y'all at least came from this area, and we the richest motherfuckers over here with this particular mineral. But we don't have none of them natural resource connections. It's like we basically in America working for white people. We held against our will. We hostages. We can't go to Africa and say, yo, send us guns. Yo, Africa, send us books, send us something, send us food, send us some shit from there so we can connect to our homeland. No, motherfuckers come from Africa. They get jobs with white people. They get cribs. They blend in just like us, but they do it a little quicker and easier because of the immigration game. The immigration game was a game to push black motherfuckers out the way. We're going to let any motherfucker breathing come in this bitch, and we'll blend y'all out. We'll blend y'all. And when you can see that happening, it's almost like when you go into somebody's crib, but you kind of get to know them. You don't really know them like that, but somebody invited you. You get there, though. And everything you say, they laughing at your jokes. You like, damn. This nigga cool. It don't matter what the fuck you say. They laughing, they fucking dying laughing over the words you saying. You just tripping like, by the time you leave that house, you're going to say, that's a cool person. I like him. Why? He didn't give you no money. He didn't feed you. He just was laughing at everything you said. So your brain going to start figuring like, I fuck with him. And if he call you and say, yo, what you doing next time? Nothing, just chilling. Man, come back through. Well, I'm gonna come back over there with Eddie. No, don't bring Eddie, man. Nah, he cool, but nah, I just want to hang with you this time. You're probably going to go without Eddie. You're not going to say, hey, man, your boy called me. He said, come over there by myself. What the fuck wrong with him? Why would I do that? You my nigga. I'm not finna go sit up with that motherfucker. You less likely to do that. And especially if that person got a big-ass mansion with fucking cars and a fucking house and fly big-ass fucking planes, and they can give you some of that shit, feed you and your kids, it's less likely you're going to be fucking with the people who sitting back saying, I don't really go over his crib. I don't like him. He don't never laugh at my jokes. She's like, he don't never laugh at you. No, he laughed at every fucking thing I said. I'm probably not going to be your friend for a minute. Let me go over here and hang with him since he got so much going on. And it's not until Eddie rob you or get you jumped by his friends at another party that you start saying, he ain't shit. I don't like him. But you have to see the experience. So now when the immigrant people are having those issues, or the people from Africa are having white people turn on them, they looking at us saying, what you going to do to help me? And it's like, what the fuck you mean you do to help you? We actually tired of fighting. Don't you know that lazy shit y'all was saying? Don't you know you said pull your shit up by your bootstraps? Nigga, we been doing that for decades. We done. We finna go sit back in Juneteenth party for the next 10 fucking years. And if y'all got to fight and deal with some shit, then, nigga, we 400 years. Y'all probably 40 weeks. You got a little while to go. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially talk about some help from somebody, because you've been in this fucking country forever and y'all don't really march with us. Y'all don't really battle with us like that. You don't really come over here and do. You don't go and say, wait a minute, y'all redlining? I'm not living in this fucking neighborhood. I fuck with black people. No, y'all doing this too. You ain't giving out loans? Well, I don't want no fucking loan from that bank. It's not no connection. It's not no together. It's only together when black people turn their back. You can't get no more dances from us. You can't fucking know no slang no more. You don't know how to dress no more. We ain't considering you hip hop no more. We saying you didn't start shit with us. You wasn't around us. We basically claiming you as a bad friend. And motherfuckers looking at it like, what you mean? No, that's not what I was doing. And then could you imagine the uncomfort? White people turning their back on them and black people turning their back on them. It's like, damn, where do I stand? You can go to the Essence Fest and all y'all can meddle that shit out and figure that shit out, whatever y'all gonna do. But having us rocking with you is over. So let's get back to the conversation with these people got to say.
There is this beef between what they call foundational black Americans and tethered, right? You would be the tethered because you're African. And the argument is that you are benefiting off of everything that foundational black Americans have done, aka descendants of slaves. And that is a conversation that I really want to have with you because I want to know your perspective on it. There is this beef between,
and you didn't even hear the dude say nothing. So you and that's what make it that's what's laughable to me, because a black person like that young fella there don't believe it. He doesn't want to be left out. He feel like if that black African dude, whatever their friendship is, if he sees the same perspective as other black people, that they can't be friends no more. They can't have the same relationship they had. But that means you weak. That means you're soft. That means you a hoe. Because if that African guy said, "Hey man, my sister just became a press secretary for the White House. She's the first Nigerian press secretary ever." You're not gonna sit there and say, "Why you keep saying Nigerian? Why she can't be black?" You're gonna be like, "Damn, congratulations to your sister." But why can't you have your own separate moment or separate thing that's just for black people, that's just been in America for 100 years? No matter how the fuck you want to place the guy to your right or left that's an African person, he has not been here for 100 years. His grandparents ain't been, none of that, because they wasn't slaves from down south. So that migration up from the south to the north, all these things is that our people had to go through. And then when white people decided, because this is the other part about it that's so critical, we didn't decide to bring black people over here to America. We would have said that back in the fucking 1600s. Y'all holding us as slaves? Okay, cool. Send 300 motherfuckers down here with Shaka Zulu thing. No, we didn't have no decision. We had to sit back and just fight amongst the people who was on our ass. So it took decades, hundreds of years for them to say, you know what? I think we could bring some African motherfuckers over here. We're going to figure out who the fuck they are, and we'll let them come over here. So then those people going to feel privileged. They're not going to feel like, God, I'm over here. Hey, I got y'all. I'm finna come over there and fuck with y'all. You're going to be like, I don't know what, man, they brought y'all here, man. What's y'all fucking problem? You like, nigga, we want to go back home. You don't want to be back home. It's fucked up there. It ain't shit going on. This the shit you want to be in. You like, damn, we just got through getting our shit whipped, beat the shit down, stumped out, wife, art, bogusly. And you saying don't go back to the crib? He like, hell no. Plus they gave me a job. I'm a teacher down at the university and shit, man. I'm teaching motherfuckers how to do sociology and math. You sitting back and what the fuck is that? Y'all don't know what the fuck that is? No, what the fuck are you even talking about? We just trying to be free, nigga. We in the swamp. My grandmama just went in the damn swamps last Friday. Like, damn, man, I heard that, man. Hey, I'll hit y'all later. That's the other cultures. They not looking at us like, yo, it's a battle. We're going to make this shit because they've been here long enough. And now that they here and it's no more of a battle, no more of a stress, they just bring their money from the other country, from the main country, the mainland as people call it, and they just buy shit white people selling. And then they expect us to continue to support it as if white people are selling it. Looking at it like, you see the trend? It seems like white people own it, black people buy it. If all we have to do is just buy something that white people sell, and then black people will keep buying it, but we see it. We're not buying it from white people because we want to. We buying from white people because they stopped us from building it our own self. If a black person created an elevator, where's the fucking elevator school? Where's the fucking elevator business? Why don't he have a bunch of elevators that he just got selling to buildings? It's not like that. You sell the patent, they the ones got the money, they build a whole fucking system and corporations behind that shit, and you get nothing. And it's just many more inventions like that that has happened over the culture of time. So when another person come here and just say, why they got a claim and they don't want their name to be like that? They crazy. I'm trying to be down with y'all. I don't know what's wrong with them. I know I look like them. I know I'm them, but them niggas crazy. It's like, what the fuck be wrong with these people? It's the Uncle Tom feeling it can't wipe off. Even if it ain't a white thing, it's an Uncle Tom thing that's just naturally in a person. It's like, I got to be a Sambo so somebody can fucking accept me. Who is going to be you? Okay, cool. Hey, Sam, let me teach you all the dances. What we do in TikTok. Get your goofy ass out of here. Have some kind of fucking respect for yourself, and who give a fuck about being friends and sitting in and connecting and being down, because they don't give a fuck about being like that with us, and you know it. Buzz HD say slave. Bro, don't call yourself that, man. We trying to work on not blending into that psychology. So stop calling. You said that to about yourself 3 times too. You shouldn't do that to yourself. You're a person, man. And it's too late to be a slave. Nigga, damn. Be strong in your heart. You don't have to be. What's up, hey, Avi? I see you popping into the game. You know what I'm saying? And hit the like button. Y'all ain't hitting the like button like I like the like button. Hit the like. Bang up the like button. Yeah, so let's get back into some videos and shit.
Amalgamated into the greater...
I'm going to play the ones that the people have a face.
You see what I'm saying? Well, you wrong. We need to get together. No, damn that. These motherfuckers don't like us.
Let's go back. This Bobby Hemmett. A lot of people will not know who Bobby Hemmett is, but get his chance with him.
Well, you wrong. We need to get together. No, damn that. These motherfuckers don't like us. You see what I'm saying? So I'm the one to put the shit out there. Damn them. You see what I'm saying? Because the time out now. The damn African clothes done went out of style. You see what I'm saying? You done went from the kufi back to the baseball cap, so ain't no sitting goddamn front. These people don't mean you nothing. And it's not a matter of based on all the Africans, but I'm trying to tell you, based on this elite nigga that's coming over here. You see what I'm saying? It's coming over here. It's a global conspiracy to separate us.
And I've heard that since I was young. They was like, the people who come from Africa are not the bums, are not the broke people. They not like the people who would be down with black people. These are the people who are elite class. They come from money. These are people who they let over here. They get into the universities. I don't know. I don't really even know no Africans. Imagine that. As old as I am, black as fuck. Don't know no Africans. Not one that's outwardly saying they African. They might be from some culture or back at home, but they don't say it out loud. They look and kick it like me. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they was out here like I'm blousing Skippy. Woo, that you never heard that. So, but that's old boy Bobby Hemmett, and he like one of the older guys that was talking all that kind of black power shit as I was coming up hearing. And but when the internet came around, you could see a face and all that thing and out. But he said a lot. He said it's an elite type of black people coming over here, and you could tell. Because with the city I'm from, where the Africans live. I even said this on the prior podcast. It's far as fuck. It's like on the other side of white people. I'm not kidding you. So like you will see like the black community, then you go to it's like Chinatown or some shit like that, and then you got downtown, right? So then after downtown, when white people section big than a bitch. So it's like downtown and north side, far than the fuck. On the other side of that, that's where you see the Africans at. And you got to drive. If I was gonna drive from where I live, you talking about 30 minutes, 35 minutes just to drive. I'm not even kidding you. You talking about 30 minutes just to get to that side of town. So it's like, damn, how the fuck the Africans stay that far from us? And it's like niggas galore. Nothing but black motherfuckers in your neighborhood. But you got way the fuck down there. What if we wanted African food? I got to fucking drive fucking 45 minutes to go get some jollof rice or whatever the fuck they sell. It's like, where the fuck is y'all at? Y'all supposed to be in the hood, selling the shit, bringing the products, having the items that we go get. But it's other cultures. It's the Asians, it's the Hispanics, it's the East Indians, it's the Arabs. And that's every block. It ain't even just one. It's like, oh, what they gonna be right there? Oh, damn, that's a burrito stand. Oh, damn, okay, cool. And it's just every culture, right in the hood. And you might catch one or two black spots, like maybe a hair shop or a chicken shop or a barber shop or a beauty shop. But you're not seeing like businesses. Like you go up north, well, the white section, I don't give a fuck where you at up north. You can look up like this. That bitch is gonna say pet shampoo. You look to this side, it's gonna say pet groom. It's gonna say pet food. Pet daycare, pet, you ain't in a fucking pet nothing on the south side. You couldn't even pet a person on their fucking shoulder. It definitely ain't gonna feed your damn animal. So I even say to myself, so all the fucking people who got animals, they gotta ride all the way up fucking north to get their fucking dog shit? Because it's none of that shit. It's none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not them stores, but take your ass to the north side. Pet detergent, pet shoes, pet sweaters. You're like, damn, it's so distinct. Every fucking thing you could think of for a pet is a fucking store there. They even got a pet psychologist bitch down there. You pet therapy, pull up and shit. You talk to this motherfucker. Are you okay today? Rolf! Like, wait, that's something fucked up. And this is a cat, so that's why you should, yeah, something is wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the fuck they got going on. And it's like, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why Africans that come to America will want to live down there. It's every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you from Nigeria, I don't know, wherever, Botswana, and you come to the south side where black people at, your ass gonna have diabetes. You fucking gonna have high blood pressure. You fucking gonna have high cholesterol because the shit we eating is what the fuck they gave us. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not like we brought a home food or whatever. This niggas was eating slop. Niggas was eating pig bacon. Niggas was eating, even if you go to a bougie restaurant that's black, they basically making soul food. That's what a cultural food we have, like greens, cornbread, all this type of shit. You gonna be dead by the time you get 2 red lights from the damn restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no vegan restaurant like that. Avi said it comes to black people, the emphasis on being racially hated is huge, but no action. It's just talks. It's just talks about victimhood. Yeah, and a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that, but I think that it's really easy to say that, but I think it's crazy to understand it from a black perspective, because I think my girl used the word called assimilation. My lady always used a word called assimilation. And she said, basically, if you're not going to assimilate, then you're going to basically die, in America. If you don't assimilate, you're not going to be able to fucking function. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot to that. That's very, very, very fucking true. It's a lot of people that's homeless walking around. You might see them, they might be stinking, or they might be having their hair every fucking where, or they might have crazy outfit disheveled, or they might be pulling like a basket with like 70 fucking items in it. And so you can look at that person and say, They're not going to be working downtown at the corporate office. They're not going to be showing up over to the thing to work. So because they can assimilate to the world that's actively happening. So when you talk about black people, let's just say you went to an educational place to get a degree. And then you got a degree in whatever the fuck is in. And then you try to go get a job. You try to go get okay, bam, my granny, my mother, I got to work somewhere. I'm young, I'm going to go get a job. All of that stop, all of that block, all of that you can't get it, all of that you don't never get to work there. And it wouldn't even be so bad if it was like that where you couldn't work with white folks because they wouldn't hire you. But it's no black people with businesses. The racism is that extenuant, so that it extends to the person that's an entrepreneur. So I can't even hire you. Like if I wanted to open a storefront, it's not even enough foot traffic to me that's going to allow me to pay 12 people to be my employees. You understand what I'm saying? So it's more to it than just being a victim. It's easy to say. It's like, yeah, you're a victim, got it. But again, if you understood it, then you could see it from a different perspective. But if you have assimilated and you already work within the system, it's fucking far-fetched conversation. It's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Jim hired me on the first interview. I work every fucking day. I'm the hardest working person. But you haven't went 17 years with no job. You haven't went 47 months without a check. And then how do you survive? Now, see, for instance, this is actively happening. So it's not a conversation. It's not something you're thinking. You're living in that. So what do you do then? Not you saying it and it's verbal and you can hear it and say, yeah, man, and then we're going to pray and we're going to talk positive. No, living it actively. You can't get a job with your degree, period. And nobody black that you know even got a company, especially in a career objective that you went to. So you're not going to find that. You understand what I'm saying? And Panda said, man, stop yapping. God damn. That guy really needs a girlfriend because she would probably hug him right now. Say, come here, Panda. Come here. Stop bothering you, baby. Is it bothering you? Panda, you came to this channel. Why would you come to this channel and think somebody listened to you? You are so lame to think that somebody would actually listen to you. Go look in the mirror and ask yourself, why aren't they listening to me? I promise you'll get an answer. So the point that we're making is, you're not going to understand black experience if you've assimilated to America and it works out for you fine. How are you going to understand what's going on? How can you see it from another perspective? You can't. That's just like looking at a billionaire and saying, all they do is spend money. You wouldn't even know what the fuck it's like to even have a business. You fucking trying to retire and assume. You try to work till you retire. So how the fuck would you know what it's like to have a business and start from nothing and build it up to something? It's far-fetched. All this shit is like left field for you. So just play your pocket. You don't have to understand everything. Just play your position. And that's what it is. Like if you're the center, you don't have to worry about bringing the ball up the court. You just stand your ass under the fucking rim, and when the motherfucker miss, you jump and get it. Do your job. If you try to do my job, then you bringing the ball down, then the short motherfucker is going to run up and rip it because you too fucking tall to make the ball dribble to the ground and come back up. He too fast. You just run right and take it from your big 7-foot ass. So you got to do your job. I can't jump up and get the fucking rebound. I'm 5'1". You the motherfucker 7 feet. So stand under the rim. You have to do your job. And that's why it's hard to understand other people's mindset and psychology, because you want to do everybody's job. If you're not black, how the fuck you even gonna understand what black people are dealing with? No, how? If you're not even African American, how the fuck? That's like me saying I can make the best tacos ever. I ain't even fucking Hispanic. How the fuck am I make the best tacos ever? I don't even fucking eat tacos. Like, who's going to even believe that? Even if I made them. Any fucking Hispanic person that makes tacos going to make them better than me, because I don't even fucking do it. I just learned how to make rice probably like 6 months ago. So how am I going to outdo an Asian person on fucking rice if that's their cultural food they've been eating since they was childhood? We understand our culture because we've been dealing with it since we were children. We was taught this shit from our culture of our parents. So an African person coming to America trying to give you another understanding of what you already know is going to be far-fetched. It's not going to be real. It's going to be like, what the fuck is this person even talking about?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's
and this who y'all was voting for. Now let's how she speak.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
And this how all y'all, this how most people feel.
I'm going to do something that's only
that's why they'll make that over and over like that.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
And she wanted us to vote for her.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Now, why would you say that to a culture of people who you trying to be with? Why would you say something so indignant and self-deprecating if you don't want to be black? If you want to be black, like she's trying to walk around saying I'm Indian and I'm black, but I'm not gonna do nothing specifically for black people. You would never say that about nothing to any other culture in America. They would fucking castigate you to high heaven, and you know damn well you wouldn't say that. But the fact that you know it's easy to diss black people and get away with it, you would say it. And so now I'm not gonna do nothing. Let's listen to that 3 more times, just so we can make sure it was a good reason Hayes didn't become the president.
No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
And I say if I was a cooler person, I would make that my ringtone. And anytime somebody hear me, they hear that bitch voice saying that shit. That you would get on a damn thing and say, I'm not going to only do something to benefit black people. I'm not going to do something that benefits only black people. Like, why wouldn't we need something that only benefit us? What, huh? But this is the psychology of the mentality of some people, and especially somebody who would actually be a leader. This girl mentality is warped. AV said, when poor, underprivileged immigrants come and have to learn the language and work 3 jobs and make a living and go through racism, they get it done and prosper. But when it's black people, it's I'm a victim. But again, my brother AV, which I fuck with you heavy, my bro AV, I fuck with him heavy, y'all. You keep talking about somebody who came here in the 1950s. You keep talking about somebody who come in the 1960s. And you keep saying immigrants. But you're not talking about the 1600s when black people had to fucking go and get jobs and they was living in alleys. You're not talking about the 1700s when black people had to go get raped and hung and be trying to go and get a job and take care of their family. You're not talking about the 1800s when they were sitting up there R-ing the women, assaulting the women, keeping your kids from you. Why ain't these things that something? It's only about, so basically time started from 1956, 1978. Okay, let's just say this. 1941 is the beginning of time. And then white people said, we're going to open the floodgates and let other cultures in here. And that's when time started. So before that, there was no time. There was no experience on earth. And so let's just go from 1943 or 9 or whatever time they started letting immigrants in to today. The hardest working people who ever walked on this side of this planet is immigrants, because they came here in the 1940s to today, and they outworked Americans, especially black people. Who the fuck would even believe some shit like that? It's not even in books. It's not, you can't even read that in a book. There's no library that's going to confirm that story, that they work 3 jobs and they fucking work harder than anybody else and they're not victims. What are you fucking talking about, my man? The reality is they only been here less than 100 years. Anything they go through is not even fucking history. And at the end of the day, those same people who you claim work so hard came to America on their fucking own. They ran through this bitch. They jumped in the water. They fucking climbed through walls. They did what the fuck they could to come through here. So that's called one word. Choice. That's what it's called. I didn't fucking make the word up. It's called you chose. So you came to a country. It wasn't perfect, but you chose to come here. Now let's go back to the other people. Held against their will, forced to come here, work, create things without a fucking dollar. Now you want to tell me somebody worked harder than somebody who worked without a fucking dollar? What do you fucking, come on, my man. We got to go back to reality. I could break it down and talk to you all day about it, but that's crazy. No, because that's how you should have started your statement at first. The past happened, and we're not going to do but. You should go back to that first statement you said. Let's reread it, y'all, because I want to make sure he did not say but and none of that. He said, when poor, underprivileged immigrants come and have to learn language. Let's go back to his current statement. And his current statement is, the past happened. Nigga, you should have said that in the first, you should have said that when you said right here. The past happened. Let's do that. Let's read it like that. The past happened when poor, underprivileged immigrants come and have to learn the language and 3 work. That past did happen. That's what you're right. The past happened when poor, underprivileged immigrants have to come and learn language and work 3 jobs and live and go through racism and get it done and prosper. You're right. That shit happened already. That past happened already. Why are we even talking about that? Because that's exactly the point. So the reality of it is, when things happen, it still affect people, regardless of what time frame it happened. Just like the immigrants having an issue, they came to a country, and now today it affects them. That's really the reality of it. It don't have to be something that everybody agree with. They came to a country, whether they wanted to, or it was against their will, or they forced themselves to come here. And today it's meet the maker. And today it's an issue. But why is it an issue? Because the people who decide if you could come here is making that decision. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference maker. You can't get mad at African Americans. We didn't decide if you're going to come here or leave. We didn't tell you to come here and stay. The reality of it is you came on your own. And if you came on your own, whatever happens down the pipeline, we can't control it. What, we're going to run up on white people and choke them out and tell them, leave them alone? Like, we can't tell them shit. That's y'all conversation. That's y'all immigration. That's y'all situation. We don't have nothing to do with that. Black people was trying to come in this motherfucker and just do what y'all did. Get a job, work, and go home. We was trying to do the same fucking thing, but it didn't work out like that. And now we have the issues that we currently deal with. Let's flip back and see what somebody got to say about this. Let's go.
Okay, look, we're gonna, in this round, we're just gonna do something for foundational Black Americans. Who is that nigga? Foundational Black Americans, that's Black people who were...
Shut up trying to find out.
And the ones who enslaved. What is that divisive sheet, nigga? What is that sheet? We're all Black people. What is that? That's tribalism, nigga. That is tribal.
That is tribal.
Why are you tribal? Well, you have tribes, like thousands of tribes in your homeland. That's different, nigga. That's history and culture.
What?
Well, our thing is history and culture. That is rubbish. All right. Ubuntu, get the fuck out of here, nigga.
That's exactly my point. You have to basically stand on yours, and by standing on yours, it's gonna make some weirdos uncomfortable. But you have to stand on yours, and this is who we are as a culture, and we have delineated from some of the stupidity that we deal with these other folks. And it's about time. You know, a lot of times nobody talk about self-respect and self-love. You know, all of that matters. Again, if you're that person that got to take care of a family, that, you know, and you went to school, you got the education, you're like, well, where the fuck is the job? And they keep overlooking you and like, that ain't happening. Then what you gonna do? Where's your self-respect? Where's your self-love? Where's your way of feeling better about who you are? And because you can't get something. So this is the rise of the person that's an entrepreneur. This is the rise of the inventor. This is the rise of the person that's going to create things with the internet and the online space. So it's just new work. That's all. It's not like the other cultures be so locked out and stopped and broke down and crying and whimpering. It's like, that's just normal, bro. That's Tuesday afternoon. You just whoop, whop, bam, and come up with a new one. That's all. It's really just that simple. I got to see what they do, though. This is a big one. Let's go to another conversation.
All right, do Black people in America have white privilege? Of course they have white privilege, because white privilege is American privilege. I'll give you an example. I am an American citizen, naturalized American citizen, but I have American privilege. So yes, Blacks have American privilege. This is why when they go to places outside of the United States, let's say, you know, in African countries, they get white privilege, which is the American privilege. They get special treatment. They can fly into these countries without visas. They get to use the American dollar. And the respect that Americans receive around the world, white, black, blue, or green, the Blacks get it too. So yes, the Blacks have white privilege.
That's different for me. I don't know if I ever heard that, but see, that's one of those things that you got to have experience. He's, I guess, from another country, and he's saying that when Black people go to different countries, they have white privilege, and it's like, what? That's crazy. Let me see what my boy got to say again. He said slavery. Hey, y'all, we were reading his statement. He said, slavery wasn't just in America. Immigrants went through that too, and racism too, and being discriminated. But they know the past happened and move on to do better, and not victims to the past. And I guess that's a great opinion. You know what I'm saying? And to have it for, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's not the same. In my opinion, when you use the word immigrants, you're talking about 55, 65 years, 75 years. You're not talking about hundreds of years. And then when you talk about people who haven't been to their homeland, and any one of these immigrants, especially if they get $5, they're going back home. They send the money back home. We haven't even had that chance to. Who we sending home money to? Who we sending money home to? What kid is coming up from our culture as African Americans and say, hey, this is my nephew. He just came up from the homeland. Make sure you go to school. So all of that stuff is just like have a heart for everybody else, but nobody got a heart for you. And that's just not happening no more. If it ever happened in the past, people should just be happy. You should just really be comfortable and happy that it happened for you, that black people gave a hell about your situation. And definitely hit the like button because we giving y'all deep, dope conversation on here. I appreciate the love and I appreciate y'all rocking. Christopher Tone said, you call yourself la la la, but the ghost people get charged. What's the F? But the ghost people get charged. Well, and in case y'all can't understand, he's saying that we call ourselves the N Whistle and that other people get this or white people get fouled for saying it. But this is again come from knowledge. You see, knowledge is always the key to everything. So the people, which is the ghost people in this conversation, they created the word. This is their word. They created it. So and now in your time of being alive, you probably had less guests from a birth to 70 years. So you only know what your experience is for the last 70 years. And what your experience is, black people said on music, and then black people said in their little circles, in their own culture, in their own realm. But why do the white people not get to say it? Well, if we've been doing it for 70 years, 75 years, and they just had 343 years, well, it should be easy for us to say, stop saying it. But again, this is nothing that's going to affect you if you're not black. You're going to feel comfortable saying it amongst your friends or saying it in your reality because it's not going to affect you. It's not nothing that you have to deal with. Even you'll say it in anger against the black person. Why? Because it's not going to affect you. It's not nothing to do. But if you said it and it stopped you from having a job, if you said it and it stopped you from being able to go home at night, if it stopped you and somebody was outside to kick your ass, you wouldn't even give a shit about saying it. That would be something that would stop you. You wouldn't even say the F word at your job. You wouldn't even call somebody that because you know it affects you. It will have an effect on you. And so you'll say, I'm talking like that. I don't care if I got to say that I'm going to do something else because why? It affects you. So saying the N-word, hearing the N-word, what it means in another culture of people that's not your own, you're not going to even understand it because you don't have, it doesn't affect you. Whether you like to hear it, some black people don't like to hear it. So to think generally that all black people like to hear it because you heard some rappers say it or because you heard some kids say it on the train, that's disingenuous. Everybody got their own ideology and understanding of that inside our culture, but not other people can tell you what your culture is because what they looking at seeing it. I see y'all always doing that. What the fuck that mean? You seen the 3,900 black people you seen, but you can't see the whole black people in America. You only seen the people you see. And they could be showing you a damn showcase. What the fuck we know? But at the end of the day, you can't see everybody in another state or another culture, or another area, another home, another family. You just know the people you know. And that's okay. But you can't tell us, oh, this is how we think because of the people that's around you. That's what they claiming and that's how they acting. So it's crazy. And he say he in Scotland. So it's too many black people up there. Actually, I would get the hell out of there if that was you. Because I don't want that. What's up, Purple Elephant? Everybody popping in. We got Blue Pill. Oh, shit. We call them ghost people. Yeah, that was a good one, though. I did like that. But anyway, I think we got some more people that can talk some shit on here. My video mostly just shows faces. It don't really show actual. It don't really show the actual. But I think that's a lot of generalization and shit to think that we should have some kind of understanding for other cultures because it's rough. It's rough already how we see us. You know what I'm saying? So seeing it from other people's perspectives gonna shock the shit out you because it's like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Let's see what this dude got to say.
Right, and he knows people are looking at him for guidance, and with all that knowledge, he still does what he does because he makes a lot of money. And so what Tariq does is he Jones, right? He's a 50-plus old man on the internet joning. There's a whole bunch of 50-plus, almost 60-plus-year-old men trying to hold on to back when they was in their 20s, still putting the Beijing freaking shoe polish in their face and trying to get the crispy lines, trying to hold on, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they joning, right? And people who view these people as celebrities, they see that joning, right, or the ability to belittle another human being in a charismatic fashion, right? They see that as a sign of intelligence and leadership because the people that follow him are lacking in self-awareness and education themselves.
All right, this dude is a little bit more on the bougie side. His name is Afro Think Tank, and I have seen him on here before. You probably have as well. But he said the paper people, y'all going crazy. But I will say this, that what he's saying about Tariq Nasheed, he does do that. He will join on his people and all that. But I'm gonna say this. I don't hate the messenger. I'm coming for the message. So if you're trying to judge the actual person giving you the message, then you're going to be convoluted. You're not going to probably get the message because you're joining. You're looking at the guy saying he has to be perfect for me to listen to this. And that's not what knowledge is. That's not what information is. As long as it's something that you can gather from it and take it away, whether you hate the information or you like the information, that's what it's about. It's about the information. If you're looking at Tariq Nasheed as a human and trying to say he's flawed or he doesn't do right or he done made these things, or if I was him, I would do that, or sometimes when he look how he's doing, then you're not here for the message, because it's humans and they're going to be flawed and they're going to have emotional issues or whatever the fuck they got going on. That's not what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to go buy Quaker oats. You want some cereal or some whatever the shit is, like oatmeal, and then somebody come and say, yeah, he was this, or he, the guy who owned that, he was like this. That's not gonna stop your hunger from wanting some fucking oatmeal. It's like, I want the fucking oatmeal. Thanks for telling me about his past, but what the fuck they got to do with me eating some damn oatmeal later on? This is why you can't go off the messenger. You got to go off the message, because at the end of the day, what are you here for? But I understand this guy's perspective. They want to find a leader. They need to, when it was back in the day, when we was all not old, we were very young, they had black leaders. They had a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, a Medgar Evers. It was black people who was the focal point of those time frames. So the younger generation, which is my era, not the era younger than me, but the younger generation that was my era in the hip hop world, decided that would not be a front man, because obviously what happens, they go shoot the motherfucker down and put him in jail and blah, blah, blah. So when a person like Tariq Nasheed jumps out there and puts himself out there to be a focal point, he already is putting himself in a danger level. So he has to make it where he's not to be followed. Because if you following him, then you rising him up. And he keeps saying, don't rise me up. I just wanted to give y'all this message and put this thing out here. But don't try to put me in a position of, now I'm supposed to be the preacher that's going to teach you about being next to God and being next to blackness. No, I was a motherfucker that was a messenger. You got the message. Did you hear it? You read it? Boom. But now I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be whoever the fuck I want to be. I'm not trying to be your leader. I'm not trying to get you to come over here and be down with me and we're going to go to an island together and all of us fucking stand tall and hold hands and take the drink together. That's dumb shit. That's not what he's trying to do. And to try to utilize that because that's what your brain wants. Your brain seeks that. Your heart and soul wants a leader. And you can't force him to be inside the pocket that you want your leader to be. So it's like, dumb motherfucker, and all you do is be evil, and you putting shit on your face to look young. It's like you want to diss him when you could be the leader. Like Afro Think Tank, you could be the fucking leader. If that's how you feel, that the person is too old and they out the way, you don't see a person coming in a basketball game saying, I'm going to be the next LeBron James, but before I be the next LeBron James, I got to play him 101. You don't even fucking hear people talking like that. They just want to be the next Jordan. They just say, play me. They're not standing in line like, I'm going to be the next Jordan. When he get out of work, he got to play me. I don't give a fuck, he's 59. We're going to play. Like, that's not how it go. If you want to be the next motherfucker, just go be him. But you don't have to go diss him and tear his shit down and say, Michael Jordan ain't a good leader, man. He never opened a school about basketball. He never got his own basketball. If I was him, I have my own leather. Like, what the fuck that mean? Just go be you. If that's what you would do if you was the leader, then go fucking be the leader and do it. But you can't catapult somebody to a level or pinnacleize somebody and then get mad at them if they don't want to sit up on the pinnacle. Man, you gave this message, but you ain't trying to take us to the promised land. Nigga, just go write a book and make your own leadership. Even talk about how you wish you had a leader. This is all free, but you can't make a person your leader. And that's the stupidity in what the young bro's saying. So you can't force a person to run your move. You have to be the leader if this is how your psychology works. And if that's what he did and put a message out there, if that's what he did, found information and revealed it to the people, then that's what he did. Leave him in his pocket of a fucking information revealer, not somebody who's supposed to take you down the street and make you some fucking, we all stood together holding locked arms. Where the fuck your brain at? So I don't see the psychology in that. Biracial lives matter. Yes, they do. Yeah, Tariq wants your dollar. That's all. What's wrong with that? That's capitalism in America. Either give it to him or don't. But he can't fucking teach you and make your motherfucking ass be a school. You don't have to come to his museum and be down with him. That's dumb. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And that's true too. But that's a trick in America. Blackness is also a product. Blackness is also a product. One more time. Blackness is also a product. So make money. What's wrong with that? That's what I'm trying to do here with Black Outrage. It's a product. It's a product I created because I have the vernacular and a conversation that can talk on several subject matters. I'm also a filmmaker. I'm also a creative, so I'm a real knowledge, and I read up on a lot of shit, and I try to talk about it to people like you. But if you're going to follow me, you're fucking dumb. You're not supposed to follow me. You're supposed to follow God. You're supposed to follow your parents. You're supposed to follow your grandparents. You can even follow your kids. But if you're trying to follow me or Tariq Nasheed or some other person, you literally probably just got a mental issue. And it's something that you need to talk about with a doctor because you are the actual leader. You're the fucking leader. But you looking for somebody else who don't even want to fucking be the leader. That's dumb. And there's a lot of people who want to be the leader, but you probably got a fucking problem with them too. Oh, I can't let that person be a leader. They this, or they that, or they're Capricorn, or they stay in another state. Like, you just got a lot of problems with all kind of shit. So who the fuck trying to sit around and please you? Just you go out and do what the hell you want to do. Trying to find out, say, black crabs in a barrel, whether you're on YouTube or real life. Shake my head. That's crazy. I think you're going to get out that box, my brother, that you're speaking on, but don't feel like that you're in a box trying to find out, because you don't have to be, my brother. You don't have to be in a box, my nigga. Get out that goddamn box. And crabs in a barrel is a crazy cliche, because the idea is that the crabs are trying to push each other out, but inside their culture of crabs, they always connect with each other. This is what the crab culture is. So if I'm up, I'm trying to bring you up with me. And that's just how it is. But we look at it backwards. We look at it from the psychology of our own psychological thinking, which means that if I help you out, it's going to pull me down. No, if I help myself up, then I'm going to help you up, and I'm going to help you up. We might not make it all the way up, but that's what the idea is. Come on, latch on. And if that's what the other cultures would have did when they came to America, when they saw black people, and they would have said, okay, there they go over there. Let me try to connect with them. Let me find. I'm not saying all people did that. I'm not saying every person who come to America don't want to be around black people. That's not true. The point is that for the masses, for the major level of it, you don't see that. People delineate, separate, and it's just like that. It could just be an American thing, but it is like that. And when black people call it out, we get called whiners, victims, all this stupid conversation. But the reality is they can't say why it's happening. They can determine or dictate why it's going on. You said trying to find out. I said no. I'm saying all these YouTube influencers beefing with each other. Well, I agree with that, because at the end of the day, if we all black, then where we headed? See, to me, it's like a race. It's like the ADOS and then the FBA, and they racing. But they're all racing to the same thing, and that's white acceptance. So we're gonna run all the way up. We don't know where we're going. We got blinders on, but we're gonna we're gonna crash into each other, or we're gonna end up at the same focal point, and that's with white acceptance. So then a white person get to sit back and look at the forums and say, ADOS on this side or FBA? You know what? I'm gonna go with ADOS. And they're like, damn, man, we worked our ass off to get to that level, man. They chose the ADOS? Yeah, fuck, man. Damn, man. Well, we worked our ass, man. Fuck them. I can't believe ADOS won that shit. It's like we're not working towards the same goal. We're working against each other. We're just trying to get to the same point, though. White people got to look at the forum and make sure it's okay. Check it off and be like, let me see which one of these is actually the right one. Okay, look, I'm going to go with this one. And then it's like, oh, damn, we missed. So us as a cultural people, we should come from up under that psychology. We should come from up under that pretense of thinking that only if one get there, the other one get left behind. Again, like the crabs in a barrel. If I get in, I automatically reach my claw down to grab you. You clamp on. When you clamp on, it's a lock, and then I'm going up. I'm not thinking about the weight that it's going to be for you to pull me down, because my objective is to go up. If I get pulled down, then I get pulled down. But my objective is to go up. So grab, but before I even head in that direction, I'm reaching my claw to you. Let's go. And we going up. And so that's why you see they never make it out the goddamn thing, because they don't go alone. They don't leave each other behind. They go and reach the claw back. That's their nature. That's their natural nature, to reach their claw back and grab the other one and go up. So that's why when we see that, we see our own nature, which is leave him behind. He pulling you back. If you take him with you, you're going to go down with him. And that's why other people are able to be successful, because in their mindset, they only think the same way as the crab. Reach down, grab them, and then they go. But they're not in barrels, so they always succeed. We continually be in the barrel, the one that we create for ourselves, the one that we psychologically say as a group. All of us got to say it. It's not one person. Tariq Nasheed can't come up with an FBA. It's so many other people got to agree. The other lady can't come up with an ADOS. It's millions of people who have to agree. And so all of those people agreeing is also saying, I don't fuck with you and I don't fuck with you. But guess what? If we all just saw it on the same point, it would be so easy. Hey, would say, Hood, what about my point above you missed? Man, that shit's probably a long way up, hey. Let me see if I can find it. It said, damn, it's gonna be too far, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. Slavery wasn't just in America. Hood. Immigrants went through that too. And the racism, I think I read that one. Phyllis said, instead of 40 acres in the mill, how about free college education and a house with land? We are still over from centuries of abuse and discrimination. Make it right. And I agree with that, Phyllis, because but the education shit, that's out the door. They can keep that bullshit. We've already been educated in America. We already know what the fuck they do. We could reteach our own kids technically if we had the fucking money. But they're going to probably try to give education because they're going to say, because education basically just keep America built. You know, that's really what education is. It keeps you being able to go get a job and work inside the system to keep the America running. But if America is running on dunking, which means your motherfucking ass get dunked in the ground and you never get to be a part of it, then why would you want to keep that going? So that's the part that they say when they say, what's wrong with black people? It's like, this shit's not working in our favor. And then you got the black woman who just popped up there trying to run for president saying, why would I do something specifically for black people? And if you remember that, which you probably don't, when she said, why would I do something specifically for black people? Right after that, that's when Biden said she was going to take his place as the president. So I said to myself, as president nomination, and I said to myself, so they was waiting to see who was going to diss blacks. And when she made that adoration and that point, then they said she can do it because that broad is not going to do shit for black people. And they just was thinking that black people was going to vote for them anyway. That's all they got to keep saying is, yeah, she eat green. She got hot sauce. Yeah, she like black people. She like Cardi B. Just make it seem like she a nigga and then niggas going to fuck with her. But a lot of black people got their own psychology and they had to learn the hard way this time because of the internet, because of the time frame. It's not no more connecting. It's not no more kicking it. Don't nobody want to fit in. Ain't nobody trying to do all that shit. You got several thousand ways to make money where you don't have to wait to fucking retire when you're 70. So it's like a lot of different times. So if we're not trying to fit in, and so a lot of the other cultures who can't wait to fit in, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. It's again like going to that rich person crib laughing at your jokes. You're going to look at everybody else and say, I don't know why he don't fuck with you, but I'm going back over there. I mean, man, I tell them you say what's up, but that's my friend now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they're going to look at us. Like, that's our friend now. And it's not until white people switch it up on them. And they be like, if I catch your ass, you going kicked out this country. Now everybody like, hey, black people, you know, we need to get together and talk about them. And we like, no, y'all get it. They don't work that out. Nah, talk that shit through. You could probably get that shit through if y'all talk about it together. Purple Elephant said, no disrespect, but can you please have information given intelligently without all the nasty profanity to be passed on to children and young adults and Christians and listen? Great info, horrible sin. Wow. Man, I'm trying to hold this tear back. Shit, that was deep. That was a little rough one right there. Shit, excuse me, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Yo, Purple Elephant, you need an enema or something like that. You probably need a hug or something like that because you think you can go to other people's areas and start spewing your ridiculousness. Get out of here, goof. Chris, what's up, man? He said, get out. Let me see. I done went back through the, what's that? She said Capera, I think. My Taken, that's a real deep name right there. My Tekken. Yeah, she said, we'll miss the message while judging the messenger. None of us are perfect. That's true. Yeah, I think I read this too, trying to find out that Tariq is a black conscious hustler. He's not a leader. Yeah, and I agree with that too. Biracial, she said, yeah, Tariq wants your dollars. Okay, I read that. Black crabs in the barrel, we got that one. Yeah, hey, I ain't see your joint up there, bro. I ain't go that far. Vladimir P said, mental note, we need to reevaluate that Bible them Europeans gave us too. Yeah, you need to do that, man. A lot, you know, I guess, let me let this play because y'all gonna be doing, man. Listen, That's what hip hop was about when I was young. The whole idea of hip hop when I was young was about dissecting the knowledge you get. That was what it was about. That's what it was about. Obviously, hip hop changed 70 times since I was young, so don't get me trying to be like, you need to come back to that. No, I'm saying when I was young, I was a teenager, it was almost like you heard the fucking music and you had to read. You heard the music and you had to understand what the fuck are they even talking about, because that was not I was young, so I didn't even understand all that Black Power shit. I didn't understand none of that stuff. I was just hearing it and I'm like, okay, damn. So we was what? Oh, damn. They said we was the first black. Oh shit. So, Elvis was the hero to most, but this just was bombarding you. So it was like a lot of information, and you had to figure that shit out. And so I was into it because I'm young. I didn't give a fuck. I remember music that wasn't so political and black. They had people like Too Short. He had songs like Cuss Words. It was just fun songs. Or even had the major music like, that was on the radio and shit, like the fucking Hammer and people like that. They was famous, what's the Ice-T, what's the name, LL. But when I was a kid, the underground music was the shit that was trying to give you information and knowledge, and you'd be trying to dissect it, going back to your school with your homies and shit. Y'all trying to talk about the song and what the fuck did they mean in it. And then that carried on for major years. So by the time you get to Wu-Tang and then they got these real deep ass metaphors, it's like, what the fuck is this? I gotta go in here and try to understand this shit. And then you digging deep in the metaphors to understand what they're saying, and it's like, oh fuck, that shit was amazing. That's what the fuck they meant. So it was more like a thinking thing. The lyrics had to make you, well, for me at least, was making us think. Then you got back, you talked to motherfuckers about the lyrics, and that was rap at that time. Not to say that it should come back or that's what rap need to be again. I'm just saying that was at that time. It was what we was remembering. So it made you want to dissect the words. It made you want to understand what the fuck they were saying. So this is why the guys in my era, and a lot of times, gray beard older dudes, is talking politics, because they bombarded it with us in the music. That's hard to understand today, because it's not like that. You don't fucking, you could play any damn thing you want to play. But as a kid, they was in control of what came on TV and what came on fucking radio. And that's the only way you got entertainment. It wasn't like nobody came and performed at your house. You got the shit on the fucking radio or the TV. And so that's the messaging you got. So that's why you heard it. And then, were they trying to give us the messages like that? It was kids. We don't fucking know. But then you get massively older and you don't hear that shit no more. And everybody looking at y'all like, why y'all like that? Why y'all, we didn't control the fucking message we were getting. This was just fun. We thought this shit was fun. I thought it was going to last forever. I never imagined that shit not happening. And then, obviously, time happened, and then music changed. It's not like that no more. I remember when we was kids, Prince and Michael Jackson was like royalty. Like, you can't even imagine how big these people was. And then by the time I got about, 20, 21, them niggas was garbage. And they never became big to us again. Like, they was over with. And it was like nobody wanted to bump their shit. If you saw their music playing, you turned. And it was a time when it was like that would never fucking happen. So as you could see how as time go, times change. So that's why I say, for today's date, the young people talking and hearing black shit and black politics and people talking about black outrage and having a conversation, it's going to throw you off, because it's not normalized in your world, in your ideology. You don't see it. But when we was kids, that's what the fuck it was. You couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? So that was media. So let's see what dude got to say again.
And some dudes rapping in the early 80s and 70s. All the elements of hip-hop has been within African-American communities since the 20s, 30s, and 40s. But hip-hop itself is even older than African-Americans, and the essence and its meaning and its power and its practice has been done in Africa for thousands of years. It's called the griots. So this is a pure African art, but hip-hop itself was started by African-Americans solely in America. Everybody else contributed, they participated, they came in and they participated early, yes, but there's no argument here. Hip-hop started and is invented by Americans solely. Even other people did contribute to hip-hop, in the music game right now, right? But that's the only claim the thing they have is arguing about who started, which is not even important. That moves no nations nowhere talking about who founded hip-hop.
Up. Let's stop. We got to go back to the goddamn top. Did you hear this goofy boy just say that the music that was founded by foundational black American descendants of slaves, African American, black people, does not change the world, does not move nations? What? Point. What is the biggest music genre in the world? Is it anything from Africa? Name one genre from Africa that you have stood outside of your house apartment on a bus stop and somebody rode up playing it. Last week, last month, 10 years from now, 10 years in the past, I'm sorry, none. The only music you've ever heard in the last 10 to 20 years has been hip hop when you up on the street corner. You've never heard no damn music coming from no other culture unless it's Hispanic music, where they'll pull up and play their music because that's what they love and they hear in America. You rarely even hear Asian people pulling up playing an Asian song. You rarely even hear Indian people pulling up playing an Indian song. So to think that hip hop is not a song that's moving cultures and moving nations, what? This music has went around the world. It's people who know the Tupacs, they know the Jay-Z's, they know all these people names because of them. The way America is, that's matter of fact, America's biggest export is our music. It's black music. The number one export in America is black music. The number one export. That gets out first. That gets out of the country right now. It's even faster with the streaming. So now you got the musicians from today going across the network and going across the world. They think they're not even famous because they can't even see the impact from the sales. But the streams is going on. But who streamed it? Where was that stream at? You couldn't tell, but the music is getting to people even faster. So to think that black people and music and black people and creating hip hop was not going to impact the world, is no impact on the world, is ridiculous. You even look like a black person that's a hip hop artist, even though you're not. You got dreadlocks, you got the t-shirt. You're supposed to be dressed like a European, or you're supposed to be dressed like an Asian person because this doesn't impact you. This doesn't have any impact on you or nobody else in the world. But that's not true. You know damn well that hip hop is the number one genre. And it has been even before I was a kid. And at the time I was a kid, they were saying it was going to end. They was telling me as a kid it's going to end. You know, I see what y'all saying, Rad. Yep, you know, Tupac, Prodigy, Tip, Jay, Future, Vladimir. He said Kendrick, Jay, everybody. He said instead of Jay, but Jay also. So you're talking about an impact that people put up on the world, and it's never going to go away. And to try to diminish it because you want to be down with the Africans or the non-blacks, all that shit is dumb. The reality is what it is, man. And us as African Americans, we're not going to walk away from our cultural standpoint because it's fitting in with people who really don't respect it no way. It's going to be hard for us to say, you know what, you're right, man. Why we care so much about all this black stuff, man? We shouldn't care so much about all this. It's like, no, this is what we basically are in America because this is what we talk about. This is what we literally discuss inside our cultural conversations. We're not really talking about is LeBron James the best basketball player? We're not talking about those things. We're talking about this type of shit. Now, do you get to have these conversations with us or around us? No. Do you see us having these conversations when you inside in your grouping? No. Most black people are going to try to fit in those events and locations around people because you want to fit in. You don't want to be ostracized or looked upon as you're a troublemaker. If people say you shouldn't vote for Trump, you're going to probably say, yeah, I didn't vote for him. But at the end of the day, if you thought his politics or something had better connection to you, then why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Why would you have to fit in with folks who automatically, this lady literally just said to everybody, I'm not going to do nothing for black people. You would vote for somebody like that? That just shows that you have a mental issue. You probably just have a self-love issue because she literally said she wouldn't do nothing for black people. She's supposed to say that for every other culture that's in this country. I'm not going to do nothing specifically for Asians. I'm not going to do nothing. But she didn't do that. She stopped at that point from black people and moved on. The interview was over. She went on about her life. She never even apologized. She never came and said, hey, I only said that because I was saying this. No. And then dude went up and said, yeah, that's going to be my replacement for the presidency. So basically, if we see somebody warring against us, dissing us, trying to push our head down in the sand, I shouldn't say nothing because that's going to make you not like me. It's going to make you not contact me and hang out with me no more. Man, that's crazy, man. Hey, Avi, what was his point in saying he don't care where the music came from? Because his point from saying he don't care where the music came from, my friend Avi, was that he was saying that the black people are arguing that we created hip hop, but that doesn't move the world. That doesn't make things happen. It's not going to bring money to the $1 trillion debt. That's not going to make people build a building, or no one's going to open healthcare things behind the fact that black people built hip hop or started hip hop. And I beg to differ on that particular point because hip hop wasn't made to change a thing or a social event. It was made to change people's hearts and their lives and get a message out there that was underdeveloped and underserved and underrepresented. So these things are basically false equivalents. You understand what I'm saying? Why would hip hop be here to save your life? Hip hop is here for fun. It's here for dancing. And if you're putting that kind of emphasis on somebody else's life story in music as to how it's supposed to change your life or build a building downtown to help elderly people, you're fucking mental. That's not even the same thing. When did rock and roll fucking do some shit like that? When did gospel music or opera music do any of these things? So you're leaning too far into something that doesn't even have an equivalence. The people that's making the music are making the music because they got a message and they want to have fun. They're not doing it necessarily to fix it. And if it comes out political, if it comes out aggressive, if it comes out with the N-word in it, if it comes out sexual, it's just a person representing art, expressing themselves. So don't put so much emphasis into the leadership aspect of people, or they should show you how to live your life, or give you some kind of guidance because of what they're doing in their life. People need leaders too bad. Let's see what they got to say right here. No more mute.
Agenda, but it's also an internet thing. The FBA thing. It's a huge internet thing.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by it? What do you mean by FBA being an internet thing? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I see it more in the internet. I see it on TikTok. I see it on in YouTube spaces, in TikTok spaces. People talking about foundational Black Americans and their, their purpose, what they're doing, or whatever. Even I saw it in the comments, some Black Americans are talking about, I don't even know what is FBA, and I don't even hear about it in the real world. I just see it in the internet. Even people in your comment section were saying that. So I'm assuming, because for the reactions that I saw in the comment section, I saw that the audience that you have, a lot of them were not FBAs. Because the ones that they were considered themselves FBAs, it was just a small amount comparing to the rest of the other ones. If a Black American say like, it's okay, it's fine, like I feel bad that you feel this way or whatever, the FBA will respond like, okay, so
Experience of
Little dumbass commercial real quick. Let's let this run. You won't be able to see it because it's not an actual face. But then when it's a face, you will see it. Or a human. Get this long dumbass commercial out of here. Back to the audio.
You were born in Cuba.
Sí.
Why do you think that a very large percentage of Cubans voted for Trump as opposed to a larger percentage of other Latinos don't?
Yeah, I will explain. Since we come from a dictatorship communist from Cuba, there is this saying that when you come here, they make the analogy of saying like, oh, Republicans, the anti-communists, and Democrats, the communists. Oh, I'm gonna vote for the same. We are ignorant in that part, and we don't make our own research.
The overwhelming Donald Trump vote came from you guys, man.
Yeah, that's true.
It came from
But
you.
not just Cubans, though. Not just Cubans. It was like within among Hispanic men, above than 50%. And do you think those people that vote for Trump are racist? The 50% Latino that vote for Trump, they're racist? No, like I say, they vote for Trump because they believe the speech that he was saying, oh, we go after the criminals, who doesn't want the criminals, or whatever, Cuban, Mexican, European, they buy into that, they believe it, and lower taxes and economies. What I'm saying, they vote for it for different reasons.
Yeah, but all of them voted for him, and now they got to deal with the bullshit because the shit he was saying was not legit, and now they keep crying. Evie said people can throw paint and shit on a canvas and charge $1 million, and they say don't judge it, it's art. But if someone writes lyrics and expresses its points, it's finger and blame. That's true. So it's just art altogether. Vladimir say music is food for our soul, and now every walk of life uses that influence. That's true. And it's a lot of people just making it just for the hell of it. They're not trying to necessarily change the world, but they are making it because they believe that they got a story to tell or some kind of subject they want to hit on. So it's crazy to try to use music and all these things as your leader or something to give you guidance and shit like that, because the people who's actually doing it are flawed. The people who's making the stuff, they make mistakes. They're not perfect humans. They're not the ones that's doing so great. They can make that. They doing what they can, but that don't mean they're doing perfect. So let's not lean into these people to try to think that they're going to help you determine your life perspective or future. You know what I'm saying? So, and as far as the ADOS and FBA, I believe that as all of us, man, that stuff's not going to continue to control us as a connected folks. It's just something to talk about. It's something to actually know about. You know, it was a lot of discussions about the other cultures coming in and buying things that black people fuck with, like Essence Fest and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And but you can see how easy that is to come and swoop in and take something because of the division amongst the people. So if we beefing and arguing about something, and then somebody else could come right up in and take it. So it's basically like a plant. It's like back when the COINTELPRO thing happened. It's like people can put this kind of narrative into the algorithm, and then now we're talking about how we're not together. How it's somewhere over here it's ADOS, and somewhere over here it's FBA. Now, if it was me, if it was a movie, and I was writing a movie, because this is a filmmaking channel, so I always make my stories come back to if I would have made this beef between ADOS and FBA a movie, what I would make the movie, how I would make the movie. If this was a movie, is I would say, so the beef is happening, and it's showing that it's a division between these two cultures. So normally that beef will make the other culture win, whoever they beefing against, white people, let's say white people, the ghost people. So how do I make the people come together where it's still a win for black people? Because they ultimately just want reparations. They ultimately just want acceptance from white people. When you can fully get to the end of what the both of those cultures, the ADOS and the FBI, are seeking, they just really want white acceptance. So how do I make that happen for them in the movie? So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, cool, they divide each other. It's wars, gang wars, it's fights, it's FBA against this, and one person is gay, and one person is Tariq Nasheed, just this dude from the hood, and he really wild with his conversation. So I'll make both of them coaches of a basketball team. You'll have the ADOS squad, you'll have the FBA squad. And they was going to have to win this game up to normal four. ADOS do exist, my brother. L Jr., that's not true. We all are American descendants of slavery, not necessarily the actual corporation that they built, but that we do exist. So in the movie, I'll make both of them basketball teams, and they'll have to go up against each other. But the prize and the championship is white acceptance. You get the big gigantic sheet, and it'll be a check with it. You get the home association loan. You get to move over there, buy them, not just that person, but everybody in the ADOS side, who if they win, or everybody in the FBA side, they get to move, and they get to leave the other black people behind and be like, hey man, you should have been on this side. I'm sorry. Like, you know, crabs in a barrel, baby. You know what you want me to do. I can't pull you up. You'll pull me down. Peace out. And that'll be the end of it. The movie will be so dope because it'll be like celebrities and shit. We'll have comedy in there. We'll have it make it seem like that it's not going to win like this. And it'll be white people sitting up at the top at like one of those booths and shit. Like when they had those little personal booths when you're rich and you sit up at the booth at the top and you're in the glass looking down at the game and shit. And they'll be playing their heart out. And it'll be black people names that'll be the basketball players and shit. Like coming up right now, Benjamin Banneker, representing Ohio. He running out there and shit like, yeah. And the next person be like, come on, we got what's the lady name? Sojourner Truth. She gonna come out now. She all on the side with the chili, the shit. Like, yeah, come on, we gonna win. ADOS to the side. And so I'll make the movie where those two black people teams would have to win. And then when they ultimately crashed at the end and they won, they would get acceptance. And they would finally be accepted in that white neighborhood. But that wouldn't be the end of the movie. I will make that what called a false ending, because the real ending would be the next morning when the police and all that came to their houses and held everybody down and was like, we got y'all in the question. Somebody robbed something last week and it was in this neighborhood, and everybody got to stand outside their house in their footies and they dank gowns and shit. Like, what happened? What happened? They want all the black people outside their house now. What the hell? We just moved over here. What the fuck is going on? Man, there's police everywhere. They got SWAT teams. Everybody be like, what the fuck, man? Wait, I thought we was FBA. I thought we were safe. Yeah, we was safe, but we just wanted to move to white neighborhoods, so they gave it to us. But we didn't know that's what they did. This how they kick it in their neighborhood. We didn't know. What the fuck? Damn. And all the FBA people be like in the hood, like, damn, they left us and they went over there. Y'all heard what happened to them, right? Man, everybody went to jail, man. They locked them up because somebody got robbed over there. They put all the niggas from ADOS in jail up in them suburbs. Like, what? Damn, man, they want to say we'll bond them out. We got to go down there with our money from our jobs, our 9-to-5s, and we got to go bond them out. And that'll bring us back together. When they walk out the jail, they'll be like, fuck, we did all this shit. Man, I wouldn't hug up, shake up, much love. Everybody go back to the hood and be regular fucking people. And everything be normal. So that's what I got on this podcast for you. You keep watching this video to the end, and then at the end it's going to actually be one thing at the top up here or one thing at the bottom that's going to actually allow us to Damn, man, I just noticed this right here, but I'm just gonna show somebody some love real quick because I just noticed this. But anyway, I will figure that out next time we do a live, probably later on this day. And I'm going to read L. Jr. last statement. He said, FBA isn't a squad, it's a lineage. L. Jr. said, ADOS was never a thing like that. It fizzled out after 1 year. Yeah, boy, you know your shit. You L. Jr. know his shit. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the corporation or the organization. These people were just bringing awareness to the conversation. Now, if they end up being big CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, I don't think so. They were bringing awareness to the conversation. What's up, Dave? And that's why we are having these conversations right now today. Those awareness conversations that they was bringing is allowing us to talk about these things now, because it's going to be a generation coming behind us. And if these conversations aren't had now, then how they going to have information in the future? How they going to, what if the younger generation, I remember when I was a kid in my 20s, early 20s, and Tupac died that summer. And it was like, okay, no, he died in September. So it was that summer was at my birthday. It was like we had his music came out. So basically it was that song that he had about, dissing Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Get money. So I was 23. So when he died, my cousin came to my crib and I was like, man, no, that September, my cousin came to my crib. So we spoke and we was like, he came to my crib, we was playing a song, the Get Money with this song. And then that September, his birthday came up. So we was kicking it and we was talking about Tupac. He was turning 23 too. So I was like, man, Tupac died like a day or two ago. And I said, man, he gonna be looked upon as the next Jesus Christ. And my cousin was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, no, look at his impact. Everybody loved him, and the way he hit, you see how much people crying and sad about it. They ain't even met that nigga, and everybody crying and all this shit. He gonna be looked upon as the next Jesus Christ. My cousin was like, nigga, is something wrong with you? Man, what the fuck are you talking about? Ain't no motherfucking Tupac dumbass ain't gonna be known as no motherfucking Jesus Christ. What are you saying? And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe that was dumb. You know what? The fuck out of here. Now, fast forward into my today. They love that nigga Tupac. It's damn near just like I was saying at 23. This nigga is fucking loved. And there's so many people who loved him who wasn't even born when his motherfucking ass was around. And they didn't even fucking like Tupac. That nigga was about to go to jail for R. That's where he got bonded out. He got bonded out for SSO. So he was going to jail. He was going to be out of jail and go to court, and the white guy was going to say, go do this amount of time. But old boy bonded him out. So he was free. And that's the time frame he got murdered. So people still love him to this day, and they admire the shit out of him, and they look at it like he was so great and he was the best. But that lady who he was accused of assault, that she don't fucking like him. Her family don't probably like him. Her new husband don't probably like him. Like, yeah, you did this to my lady, even though it might have been a lie. It could have been true. We wasn't there, but he got caught up. He was going to jail. He was in jail. And then he got out, and then he died, and everybody swear he was the best dude breathing at that time, even today, or his time breathing. When he was on Earth, they love him. So I say that about Tariq Nasheed. In the future, the next generation could come up and they'll say, "Did y'all see the Hidden Truth documentaries? Did you see these things? Why y'all acting like that didn't exist?" And we like, no, fuck Tariq Nasheed. He was a pimp. He was a this, and he would drink beer, and he always looked at girls' booties. And they'd be like, but y'all didn't see these videos? Like, yeah, we saw that shit. But yeah, but you ain't see him. He was on the thing one time, and he said, everybody got it. But people, what's wrong with y'all? This guy was putting out a message, and y'all should have caught it. And the next generation just push him straight to the top. And they'd be like, I don't know what was wrong with my granny and my uncle, my daddy, but you are the best. And now we 74, or we 53, or we 42, and we looking at it like, why do you like this dude? And we looking at the next generation like, he's the man. Y'all should have been listening to him. Now he got a backing. Now he got a following. But he could take that following today because everybody at the time to now is looking at him like a fucking pariah, like he was an idiot. You can't catch the message. You can't see the conversation. Even on the other side with that girl, Yvette Carnell, the message is what they're putting out. Look, we could also be American descendants of slaves. And then the other guy saying we could be foundational Black America from this perspective. That's the message that we're gaining. Not necessarily what they do in their bedrooms or what they do on YouTube or what they still humans. And ain't nobody going to be perfect. That's not what the time or the message was about. If I'm going to follow your ideals because of how you live your life, let me just write down what you do. So at 2:30, you, okay, look, I do exactly what you do. That's not what the fuck life is. You're going to do what the fuck you want to do. And it could be anything you want to do, but you're going to do it. and everybody gonna do what the fuck they want to do. And if you see somebody mimicking you, you're gonna say, would you fucking stop mimicking me? So it's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Vladimir say, I'm Haitian. And it does hurt hearing the term African American. Africans are envious and of indigenous peoples. Damn. You say, I hate hearing that shit. Yeah, you know, don't none of us make none of this stuff up, man. Carolina Breeze said, and black people indigenous to every piece of land on earth, which means we all not from Africa. You got to do a genealogy to be completely sure. Facts. Yup, man, I agree with that. L. Jr. said, ADOS was never a thing like that. It feels like, yeah, I read that one. Yeah, so you do see how, you know, those things in African Americanism where it's, you know, even if we did a lineage, man, I couldn't even believe in that shit. I just wouldn't. You talking about 400 years of separation. Like, what I'm going to do? Walk up in there and say, you are my 15th great grandmother. Like, what the fuck I'm going to do? Walk up on somebody. She said, oh, wow, eat with me. I'm like, okay, where the restaurant? No, sit down right now. We're like, sit down right here? And you talking about scoop my hand up? First of all, I got on Jordans. I'm not fucking sitting right here. Y'all ain't got no chairs in this bitch? And where the forks? And they be like, no, brother, you in Africa now. No. Hold up, let me go back to the hotel. No, I ain't doing this shit. So ain't no chairs in this bitch. Why you got them flies over me, man? It ain't no AC? So it's like you're going to be out of your culture to try to be inside somebody else's culture. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be like, I can't do this shit. It's like going to a bougie neighborhood and then missing a liquor store on the corner. Like, damn, ain't no liquor store. What the fuck is going on, man? Y'all, where y'all liquor store at? Y'all go to the big grocery store and get beer? What the fuck is this? I used to a goddamn liquor store being right there. 6 dudes standing outside. It's dangerous if you walk your ass up there. So y'all don't have it like that? Damn, that's crazy. So even at the Home Depot in the city, 1,600 people out there every day trying to get jobs, every culture. Not just them or not just them, everybody. You name it, they there. It's so many people. It's like they even made a new rule where they couldn't stand by the door now. They have to stand on the outside. Like if you pull up, it's almost like a bus stop. You pull up, it's like, God damn, look at all these motherfucking people. And you say to yourself, who the fuck hired this? Is probably somebody could open a corporation and hire all these. There's so many fucking humans looking for work, and they there every day. But then when you go to the suburban ones, Home Depot, not a soul around them bitches. Not nobody standing on the outside, nobody standing by the door. You can do a UPS, a Home Depot tour. You wouldn't find a motherfucker. They don't even fix a flat at that bitch. I'm talking about nothing. Nobody at either one of them motherfuckers. But if you go in the city, it's so many fucking people out there, nigga, you be like, I'm gonna hire 14 of y'all just to help everybody out because it's so many people. They come and build you a whole new house. We give you a whole new house because we got another job at 12 o'clock today. You be like, damn. So it's just like that. So a lot of people ain't fitting in. A lot of people ain't getting the benefit of America, regardless if they African American, FBA, ADOS, black, immigrant, cultural difference. They came here yesterday. They came here 65 years ago. It's everybody mixed up in the same shithole trying to get themselves together. And it's not a shithole because I love America and I'm not dissing it like that. I was using the terminology came from Trump, which he said a long time ago about Africa and the African people coming to America and stuff of that nature. So that being said, I think I'm going to dive off of here and convene in a little bit later and we'll talk about new messages, man. And I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you look at this little video at the end because it's going to be some dope stuff, and hit the link in the comment section. It's going to be a pin link.